Hello. Let me unmute. Good morning, Abdul. Yeah, so I have unmuted. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. So we can start now. Before that, just I wanted to understand, did you get a chance to go through our first recording, first session, first, second?
Yeah, actually, I have just gone through for that. So,
Mm-hmm.
like the uh, first things like the Anaconda installation, these things, yeah, I understood that before also I was used some how to use the Python using Anaconda. So I know
Mm-hmm.
a very basic of R and very some basics for Python, not much. I just learned it by myself, and even since I'm from with the background of remote sensing and GIS, sometimes we use some code from like Python for ArcMap, yeah,
Okay.
for executing like for yeah for just calculating some. For example, mostly I have used Python to analyze the images, like the satellite images, especially modest, and it's most of time like in the especially in the some mountain area. If we
Mm-hmm.
use some daily data, so there will be the mostly cloud cover. I used to just combine the Terra and Aqua 2 satellite images, and then I try to combine like one day with the next day like that. Just I have used some basics, and
Okay.
also I have used for classifying some images, and just yeah, of course also only for raster analysis I have just few things I have used it, like I know very basic, but still I was like, since every one of us know there is a lot of videos and tutorials. I have
Mhm.
watched many videos and tutorials. Like suppose if there is a lot of information, the information will be become like puzzle. We cannot assign okay for which one we should go through. So the purpose of this class, I wanted to take that to know the specific direction, for which direction it will be, how to say, useful for me to just go ahead and learn this new technology and yeah, new knowledge.
Okay, great, Abdul. Yeah, thanks for sharing, and absolutely good that you asked for the session. And never mind whenever you feel something like this, even in future, feel free to talk. Yeah, just to start, I wanted to give you the understanding. So since you have some background, but here and there, and different domain, different things you do, and here from machine learning, we are in a specific flow, right? Where in this flow, I will go. I have actually started with a very basic of programming, where I assume that many of the participants have no background at all, and
Mhm.
that's where I have started right from the basic, where you understood probably the variables and how to use the variable, what is data type, what is keyword, what is if and for constructs or loops in the programming. So I hope that is comfortable for you till now, right? The loops, if construct, for loop.
Yeah, like loops, for that case there was also loops, but I know some things. Yeah, still that loop is not clear for me, like.
Okay, okay. So let me take you through. Yeah, since you got gone through the recording, please do this hands-on on the notebook, whatever you see here. So let me tell you about first. There is something called if construct. In mostly in programming or in your real life also, we do take some decisions based on some conditions, right? So for example, suppose I want to go to office, and this is morning peak hours. So I can probably decide to choose one route, and if it is afternoon time, I can probably decide to choose some other route, right? The reason could be because I can judge on the traffic, and a lot of such decisions we take, right? If it is maybe I know if I'm sitting, I'm going for a party with my friends, I will go with some casual dress, and if I'm going to a business meeting, I'll go with some formal dress, and something kind of these decisions we do take, right? So even in programming, whenever I want to take any decisions, so this is the if keyword which is built in the programming, that okay, if user is writing if, that is if, so there's a specific syntax it demands for, right? And then if, after if, there is a condition which is required to give, and there is a colon. This is a syntax programming understands, right, to achieve that conditional checks. So
Okay.
this is the condition I put here. If this condition is true, the block of statements, let's assume that in this particular example, uh, I, I, I have the small example now. In this particular example, there are two lines which is a part of the block, meaning after colon, there is some statements we write with some spaces. Spaces are important in Python, so that indicates that okay, these two statements will execute only if this condition is true. Okay, meaning suppose this statement is nothing but it describes our about our dressing style. So this condition would be like, okay, am I going to business meet or am I going to party? Okay, if this is a business, and then this statements will say that okay, this is the description about our formal dressing, or something of that sort. Anything, for that matter, anything. If it is time is greater than 11 a.m., so I can write something here, and else I can write something else, right? So this is what the condition it talks about, where we have some condition to check. If that condition is true, this block of statements gets executed, and if that condition is false, so these statements won't be executed. Okay, this is what the if construct is all about, right? So we have a small example here, and in this we can also have nested if. Nested if means one more condition within that condition, because inside this condition we have already few blocks, few statements which will be executed. Is if clear? If condition, why we use and how we use, this is more
Yeah.
or less same in other programming.
Yes. Actually, I did it this if things for that image analysis. Like suppose there was like four classes. Like I mean, like snow, land, cloud, and water. Before it was 10 class, but I said for that one, if the cloud, like the cloud classes, for example, 8 classes, more than 30%, merge day one into the day two.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
For
you're
one
right.
thing,
So that
sir,
is
one another thing. That was some code I just modified from someone's code. Suppose, like in here, like five is equal. Sorry, x is five equals to 5, and if x is smaller than 10, like the print x is greater than 10, right? But still, it's like here,
yeah, yeah. Tell me. Yes, go ahead.
still it's printed here like x is greater than 10.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, this is the old output. So let me run once again. Okay. Now x is 5, and the
Yes.
condition is if x is less than 10.
Yes.
So that's the reason this condition is true, and I came here.
Okay.
Yeah, x is
Okay.
less than 10,
It will
not
print.
greater.
Suppose if we ask if x is like smaller than 10, so it will tell us no, it's not true. It's greater than 10, right?
No, x is smaller than 10. This is true, isn't it? X is equal to 5. Is 5
Yes.
less than 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is 5 less than 10? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This condition is to check, is 5 less than 10? This is the question mark.
Yes.
Okay, if that is the answer is yes, then this statements gets executed, and that's what it is saying, x is greater. Okay, just forget about what I have written here. Probably we should have written small or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's why it was making me confused. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's
okay. Okay.
it's okay.
It's just about this statement
Yeah.
getting executed, right?
Got it.
and the last statement in the if block. Whatever we write, this is getting executed. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we are also checking that, okay, if 5 is if it is 5, if x is 5, if it is 4, this line won't be printed, only these two lines will be printed. But if
Oh
it
yeah.
is 5, this condition also becomes true.
That double equals, what does it mean?
The condition check, so single equals is assigning this value to x. Now, since this line onwards, x value is having 5, but this is not the case. This is not assignment. This is a condition check. If this and this both things are same or not, that is what it means. Okay, let me just open one more one PPT for you. I'll quickly help to.
Okay.
Yeah, just a moment. Let me. Okay, look at this. There is this condition check. This double equal to is either true or false. Just I'm checking that, okay, whether this side of the equation and this side of the equation is same or not. If they are same, this will return as true.
Yeah. Thank you.
This
That's
is the conditional operator, relational operators we say. So it can be less than, equal to, less than, greater than, double equal to, and so on. Okay, not equal to. Okay, this is what about is all about the condition. Okay, and one more thing
okay.
about loops you are not clear, right? So this probably this one liner you should make a note of right now. Repeats a set of statements over a group of values.
Repeats the set of.
Instructions or statements over a group of values. Okay, now suppose
Okay.
in an organization there are suppose 100 employees. Now
Mm-hmm.
I want to perform a particular task for all the employees. Suppose I want to provide identity card, right? ID card for all the
Mm-hmm.
employees. So this is a repetitive task, correct? So I have
Uh-huh.
the photograph of each employee, I have employee ID of each employee, I have contact number of each employee. So I have to put everything on the same picture, let's say, right? Since you worked on
Mm-hmm.
the images already earlier. So what we will do is, suppose my first step is to pick the image and paste on the wall, then to pick the phone number, which is text, and to put on the wall again, and to pick the, let's say, emergency contact number and put on the wall. That wall is nothing but our final image, which I am going to give to the vendor for printing.
Okay.
Correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
so meaning what I'm trying to do is, suppose I have this format given by the vendor who is going to print the ID card. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pick one image which is there in my database and paste here. I'll pick a mobile number. Definitely vendor won't have mobile number, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that number I want to put here, let's say 88 and so on, right? I want to pick the name also, right? Let's say here I write your name, correct, and maybe and so on. Maybe these are the details we need to fill up, correct. So I do
Mm-hmm.
this task for one employee, and again for the next employee. So writing the
Okay.
same code doesn't make sense. Instead I will reuse the same code. Only thing will be files will be changed, the data will be changed, but the operations are same, right? So for such
Mm-hmm.
repetitive task we use for loop, where this operation that those operations are, let's say, this print statement. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll write
Yeah.
here. Yeah, so here if I go, and write for I in range 100 employees. There are 100 employees. Now, what I will do is print, pick up, okay, copy image and paste on wall. Then the second thing I will do is copy name and mobile number, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's all. And then later on, I will simply say that print contact vendor and provide this information, right? If vendor, suppose here I will just put a condition here. If vendor contacted back, this is the variable, then again I will do receive all ID cards. Something like this, right? In just a pseudocode I wrote here. So I'm just trying to say that, okay, this is for 100 employees. Okay, for all the 100 employees, these statements will be repeated. So that is what exactly I was trying to tell about this for loop. Is this clear? Any
Yes. Yeah.
repetitive task we want to do, it will go through the looping, right? For loops. And this is what it talks about, right? So repeats the set of instructions over group of values. Here, this is another example. Here we see that for x in range 10 and print x. So for all the values in this range 10, it will be printed. X will be 10, will be numbers will be printed.
Yeah.
While loop is very similar, right? This is again one liner, executes a group of statements as long as the condition is true. So it will keep on checking the condition. It's like if condition. It's very similar to that. Only thing is this repetitively things happen as
Mm-hmm.
long as this condition is true. Okay, while loop is less used, but still we should know this is important in some time, some situations. Okay, for example, infinite loop I want to write. For example, in server client programming, or for example, where I don't know how many times I have to do this action. Suppose we are packing gift for each employee, and we are not told how many employees are there, right?
Yeah.
Probably housekeeping guys are doing this, and they don't know how many employees are doing this, so they are keep on doing this, unless they get the instruction to stop. Right? In that situation, this while loop is used. You got
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes.
So the flow I was talking is so this is something the basics of programming, right? Where we have for loop, if else conditions, and if we learned, and else is the second thing, right? Which is this, just if this condition is not true, then what to do. This is what we have to do. Okay. If else is, I think, clear. For loop is clear. And there is something called slicing we did, you know, and we have seen strings and string functions. Okay, so did you understand how to use string? String is just a collection of characters or anything put together in a quote, that becomes a string, and we have some string functions. We have seen that dir is the function, built-in function. And let me also see the slicing. Okay, in the string, so we have a string now, and if I want to slice a string, we have to, if I want to get any value, this is a sequential data structure where every character of the string is stored at one location, and those can be accessed through this indexing. Okay, s of 0, s of 1, and so on. Is
Yeah.
this clear?
I use
Line.
these things in Word. WARD Word.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I use this slice like almost same things. WARD. I think it should be there.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, great. Yeah, slicing is as simple as that. If I make a slice of an apple, that will be apple only. So same way, if I want to pick or pull some part of any string, so I will get another string, and that's what we are trying to get out of this. Okay, and we talked about list and dictionary. This is again a very important data structure called list and dictionary, which we will be using, and probably in last session we used yesterday. Did you attend yesterday's session?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I didn't miss because I think I'm one of the very a person who is really needed this course. That's why I'm
Mhm.
very, how to say, I'm really trying to learn because I'm a PhD student. Even I don't have background for machine learning. My professor, he's telling me to you should use like convolution neural network or even other like some maybe like ARIMA model like that. I have to
Oh,
learn this thing because I need to like apply for my research.
okay, great, great, great. So we have all these things planned for the upcoming sessions. So
Like
don't miss.
convolution neural network also it will cover, right?
Yeah, some part of it. We have introductory session for neural network. Time constraint. We have designed mostly on the machine learning part, and I will definitely give you some starting pointers and some introductory session. That's where we can start learning on your own.
Excellent. Yeah. And
Yeah.
also,
So
can we
yeah.
like use multi classes also for that?
Multi-classes is, we have some basic introduction of classes and objects, and I think we are enough with that only. We are not going to use the multi-classes as part of writing our models.
Okay. Is it possible or not?
Yeah, it is possible. You can use and enhance your programs in real, if it is a bigger program, you can definitely use
Because
this all the classes. Yeah.
for the most of the cases I saw, like there is, for example, cat and dog, just two classes things. I want maybe in my case it's four classes. I need to just like that's why I was
Yeah,
thinking.
we will do a couple of examples in categorizing multiple different customers. Maybe couple of let 2 to 3 sessions go, and later on we will have some data set where we want to identify the different classes, categorize different classes. Maybe I have some customer segment one, customer segment two, customer segment three. So I think that's where you will understand what you are talking. Yeah. So so don't miss the sessions, and we have really exciting stuff coming in every session. And this is a basic foundation, Abdul. As we spent today some time, I want you to do this hands-on. I'm going to upload this these notebooks and do this. This is programming, but this is interesting if you understand and join little learnings together. Okay.
Yeah, you will also like share this script as well.
Yeah, this already is shared day one and day two. When you go to LMS, okay, portal, let me give you this introduction. This is important for you to understand. If you go there in your course, which is this is there in your LMS, right? Have you seen
Hmm.
this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so here, session one and this day one, two. Okay, this is the folder uploaded.
Hmm.
Okay, and today they will also upload in this session two, day two or something. So day three they will upload. Day three, four they will upload either in this section or in this section. They will upload somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, so they will upload either in section 3 or 4 somewhere, but this day 3 4 will be uploaded. Right now we have day 1 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just keep a watch on day and number these folders so that you get these notebooks whenever we complete the sessions. Okay.
Yeah. Sir, I have another question. Like, as I have explained it, even I'm very like how to say very beginner for this kind of course, even for Python, for everything. What kind of book you recommend me? Even it's not available freely, I can maybe buy. Even we have like some budget to buy,
Mhm.
like from that. Yeah, some good book with some practices. Even if it is in the Amazon, that's fine. Just I want to know which one is better for me.
Okay.
I can buy.
I will suggest one book.
There is a PDF file in the LMS. That's very good.
Yeah,
Python.
yeah,
Yep.
I need to buy that, right?
No need, it is there in PDF.
Oh, it's
yeah.
free.
So
Okay.
Vijay, you mean this here?
Yeah,
We
in the
have
session one, I think somewhere.
correct,
In zip
correct.
file. Yeah, in your zip file, right? Day one too.
Yes. Abdul, I have uploaded these files, and I have uploaded one PDF that is really a beginner PDF. And but not only that, I have one more book I would suggest. Just give me a couple of minutes. I will suggest that book to everyone. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let other people join. Now it's time. It's already 8 a.m. India time. So we
Okay.
are going to start the session, regular session. So Abdul,
Okay.
just to know, is this fine? Whatever you had some queries, is this fine to start with? Are you comfortable with the basic stuff?
Yeah, I will try once, like whatever you have like guided me, I will go for that maybe for this week. And
Hmm.
if there is something still like there is some how to say if I didn't understood some part, I will share with you
Hmm.
maybe for
So
the
what you can do is, yeah, the two important things, Abdul, to note, and for others who have joined, very important is, especially for those who are new, spend time and do hands-on whatever we are doing in class. So without fail, please do hands-on because that is the only way to learn. Okay, books
yeah.
is definitely good to refer, but you do hands-on. Okay, do code notebook in Jupyter notebook. You write your code. Okay, whatever I did, the same thing. You don't copy paste. Instead, you look at this and write on your own. That is one rule, important rule. And the second is for you guys. Whenever you feel like a little extra stuff you want, extra learning, or maybe if you're lagging something, if you want some revision or some stuff, so feel free to ask a support team. So not every weekend, but try to consolidate your questions, and maybe another 1 or 2 or 3 sessions we can do going forward, which will be half an hour before our regular time, meaning 7:30 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So maybe that is the way you guys can just catch up to the speed if we are lagging somehow. So don't hesitate because my goal is you guys learn, and I want to value everybody's time here. Okay.
yeah,
So feel
yeah,
free to drop a mail or message, or maybe in WhatsApp. We will communicate and arrange this half an hour additional session sometime 1 or 2 times going forward.
one I have one another suggestion, sir,
Hmm?
if possible, like what kind of materials like it will be important for such a maybe for each session, if there
Hmm.
is some reading materials to include for each class or maybe for each week, that will
Hmm.
be much more better. I think we can go through on that, and then we can solve. I think we can something which we cannot understand during the class. Then by reading and by going through on that, we can learn that.
Yes, a very good point, and I'm with that. But I will be, more about this thing again. I have noted it, but if you look at my one folder which is uploaded, we have this, not only the notebook, but I have some hands-on, I have some assignment, and I have some book attached. On day two, when we have day 3, 4 folder, there will be another book, and when we have subsequent sessions going forward, I will upload 1 or 2 statistics related books. When I go something more, whenever I'm adding any new topic, I will add these additional notes or PDFs or small
Yeah,
books for you guys, and also assignment and hands-on going forward. That's
yeah.
already in my mind. But yes, I will make a note of this to consciously add these learnings for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other thing, Abdul? Okay. Anybody else has anything? Other people, I think, joined. Before we start the session, I just have opened this for general discussion. For those who want to know something, who are lagging something, or have any question on any topic, which might be the very first session or the second session. Okay then. Okay, guys. So give me a couple of minutes. I'll be back. I will mute and I will stop my screen share. But I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, guys. Good morning. I'm back, but I think we should wait for a couple of more minutes to let other people join, and then I'll start. Yes. Good morning, Ashish. Good morning, Anil. Good morning, everybody. Just a minute more, and I will start. Let other people join. Okay, guys, let's start. Yeah, yes, Ashish, you have something to say. I have unmuted you.
Good morning,
Yes, good
Ganesh.
morning. Yeah.
Actually, yesterday I was facing the problem with because of network connectivity. I didn't uh, uh, listen the complete your yesterday class.
Oh, okay.
But so after that, I just go through the elements and I will check there's a no session is not uploaded on that. So if
Mm,
possible, please upload it on by daily basis. So it is
no,
will
no, daily basis it is being uploaded. Ashish, see, look at this. My screen is visible, right? In
yes.
session one, that is already there. In session two, that was already there. And session three, I could see this.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
what time you checked, I don't know, but support team
Yeah,
is
after
very.
half an hour, I think. After half an hour, I've just gotten that.
Okay,
But
okay. Give us little time. They have to record, they download this recording, and when we
okay,
sit session, this the file conversion happens,
okay,
and half an hour, maybe it's nothing. 1 hour, 2 hour, it might take, but
okay,
let little time to them. They are proactive in this case, and this is getting uploaded. But for safe side, I would say 3 to 4 hours we should wait.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
you have
okay,
this, and
okay,
yeah, please go with this recording later on.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, guys. Yeah, so let's start just to summarize what we oops, where is my Jupyter? Okay, it's there. Yeah, to summarize what we learned yesterday was NumPy. Okay, what is NumPy? Yes, NumPy is a library for scientific computing. This is what I said, right? Library in Python for scientific computing. Okay, it provides, I would say, high performance, high performance. I'll just break here. It provides high performance multi-dimensional array objects. Multi-dimensional array objects, right? So that is what is called ND array. We have seen this, right? ND array, and it's everything is array, and it has tools for working with this, right? So that makes very easy and very powerful computation for the data which we can convert, for that matter any data which we can convert into NumPy arrays. Yeah, so we got one message to all. I think you read this. Yesterday's recording was uploaded, and a recording takes 8 to 10 hours to process. Yes, Ankita session has started. You're not able to hear. How about other people? Anybody is facing the same issue, or you guys can hear? Okay, hearing, can hear. Okay, so everybody is hearing. Only Ankita is not. So for Ankita, your mic issue maybe. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about NumPy. We see how 1D array and 2D array, we can create using array, using a range. The way we did for using range function, we can do using this a range function, and then uh, not only that, we have seen that how to get the shape, how to get the number of dimensions, how to get the size of the array, how to get some functions which we can apply, like sum, subtract, addition, and division. Maybe division we didn't see, but all these such functions are there which we can use to get the values or mean of the array. We have seen some operators how we can use, like a and b. We have used import numpy as np, and we can simply use this np dot sum on, let's say, a is our, let's say, array. All right. So similarly, if sum works, then we can use other functions as well. So minimum, maximum. So maybe let me just write this just to brief you guys. This is minimum, right? And this is the maximum of this list, this numbers here. We get this way, right? So that's how we have seen how to use functions. We have many functions to really use in NumPy. Okay, we have seen some operators, some slicing we have seen, resizing, or maybe reshape. We have seen how to reshape and get this arrays. We can twist, we can do anything with this array. We can pull some portion of it and we display. Okay, so this is what we have seen about NumPy yesterday, and we will definitely do little bit more on NumPy going forward. Today we are going to talk about something called pandas, right? Uh, Pandas is the another library, so which we can import, and we can create an alias as PD. So we can have anything as alias for that matter, but PD is commonly used, so let's go with the same alias. So pandas is a library which is used for data analysis, and there are many techniques and tools to evaluate data, to discover some information from the data, provide some insight. So we can get some conclusion, we can get some decision making out of this data with the help of this pandas package. Okay, so this package is really important for data analytics and of course machine learning, because machine learning works on the data only, and we have to do a lot of things before we really provide this data to machine learning, right? It provides some built-in structures. These are called series and data frame, right? So there is something called series and data frame. Okay, series and data frame. Okay, these are the terms. We don't use so much series as such, but it is there already. And data frame is something we will be talking every day almost, I would say. And we should know that what this series is and what is this data frame means, right? Series is in pandas is like Excel. It's in the tabular format. It displays our data, and a series is like a row or a column, right? Maybe I would say series is the Python list type object, but not a list, of course. I would say it's a dictionary with list as a value. Maybe I will say, let's say, grades, and I will have, let's say, 23, 27, 24, and so on. Okay, so this type of data structure, whenever we find, this is like a dictionary. This is a dictionary, in fact, but with having only one key and only one value, and that value is always a list, and that kind of data structure is a series. This is a basic element of data frame, and data frame is a collection of a dictionary of series. Okay, so it is a two-dimensional data structure, and series is one-dimensional, I would say. It's one dimensional, and this is a two-dimensional data structure. Okay, maybe I'll write a couple of examples, and that time you will understand. So we have to import pandas, and we have to use these objects to perform some of the data structure analysis using pandas, right? This is derived from R programming. So this is the tool used for data munging, data preparation. So when we do pre-process the data, these kind of operations are required in machine learning, and that's how that's what is required, and we will use that. Okay. uh, yeah, so we have some data, and we can probably try to use this, and we will see how to create, let's say, PD and series, yes, capital. So I have imported pandas. So let me write the statement again for your eyes here. Okay, I'll make it a little smaller. Okay. So, I have created a series, but, I can simply create this with the help of, let's say, some numbers. Okay. And let me see how it looks like. Okay, cool. It is showing us something in the tabular format. So this 0, 1, 2, 3, we haven't give something like this indexing, right? But it is automatically taking. So there is an indexing happening here. And these are the values stored in the tabular format, which is like a Excel, a column in the Excel sheet, right? So same thing, if I would like to do, I can also provide the indexing, right? So I will say index equal to, let's say, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, or 14 only. There are 4. So this indexing, we can just give whatever indexing we want, and we can have this indexing as well for a series, a particular series. Okay. So yeah, so this is the basic stuff. What we are talking about is a series, and if I see, let me just do one more thing. Yes, equal to PD dot series, and I don't write anything. I just want to see the type of object. Yes, it is pandas course object called series. Okay, yes, capital indicates that there must be a class called series. Okay, now I will also create one more series using pandas object, and let's say I will do this n to the power 10 for n in range, let's say 10. Okay. Oops. PD. Okay. So look at this. We have created one more series where the number is, yeah, the numbers from 0 to 10 and to the power 10, right? For each number, we are doing this. This is how we can have. I'll take one more example. Let's say I have, let's say, phone book, and I want to have these details like, name, Akash, colon, let's say some numbers. Okay, I'm just typing some number, and let's say John. Okay, so this is just one example where we have this data structure called phone book. It's a dictionary, and I want to convert this to a pandas series object. Okay, what we can do is we can simply have this, and we can see that this data is arranged in a tabular format. Just imagine if it is a huge data, this kind of representation will help to do our exploratory data analysis using pandas. Okay, now I will have one more data structure which I will use. Let's say I have year, and let's say 2008, 2010, 2011, and so on. And suppose in one of the event, how many attendees were there in those years, during those years? Let's say 45 and 57 and 99. I'm just taking some example. My aim is to show you guys a series, a couple of series I have added here, and this whole dictionary data is a dictionary, but this dictionary can be converted to pandas data frame. So pd dot data frame. Okay, and I would use this data. Now look at this. Here is also an the the data is converted to a data frame, and it looks like a this tabular format, and that we can see easily how this data is arranged and how these headers are automatically taken as a as a header for this data frame. Okay, now if I have this data frame, we can do get this information. No, I haven't saved this data frame equal to, suppose I do this, and I will say that, okay, what is my data, how it looks like, how to get that, correct? So these things, this small, some operations like df dot size, so similar to something we did for NumPy. So we have these six elements here. So look at this table, and this indexing is automatically given, but we can also change the indexing as we saw earlier. So how to see the indexes is using index again. Yeah. Or if you want to change the indexing, of course, here itself you can give index equal to, let's say, A, B, and C. Sorry. And of course, it has to be list. And here, yeah, see, look at this. Earlier it was 0, 1, 2. Now it is A, B, C. Whatever indexing. Usually we go with the numeric indexing, but point is just to know that, okay, this is the indexing we do. And suppose if I want to get the values, I can simply get the values, right? Definitely this header and indexing is not important for me, and I get this data here, right? Okay, so Sudha is observing that if she's doing this, I got a message there. Let me see. Okay, she's trying to see the indexing is not given. Okay, this is a series. We have created a series object, and okay, see, for series, indexing is given if we have this only the series, the numbers, and we don't have anything else. But in this case, you have a proper series object where you already have this data with some keys there, right? In phone book, if you see, where is the phone book? Yeah, so these are like indexing only. Okay, Akash and John is like indexing. We don't have additional indexing there. But if you convert the series objects and you add this to a data frame, eventually you will see the indexing there. Okay, she got it now. Okay, perfect. So this is some little hands-on, little bit stuff we are trying to do. Let me also see what is my data frame. Okay, this is how it looks like. Now we can perform many operations here. Let's say I would say year, and I get years only, right? So if I want to get attendees, I can also get only attendees, right? And all these things. Not only that, but I can also do manipulate this. If I want to change it to let's say whatever values are there, I can do this with, let's say, 7 participants added, right? And if I see my data frame now got changed, it was 45 plus 7, it is 52, 57 plus 7, 64, 99 plus 7, 106, right? So every element, every data value is getting added with 7. Okay, so this is nothing but, for those who are new for programming, this operator is same thing, like this, meaning is the same thing. Okay, so these both things are same. And another example could be, let's say, this x, and I want to add 1 to the same value. So we do this, or x plus equal to 1, right? This just I'm doing this for the people who are new for programming, just to not get lost somewhere. So that's the reason. So this plus equal to is the operator, can be used in this scenario, right? In this way. So I hope this is clear, right? And this is how we can update, we can manipulate the data, we can add something to the data, and we can see. Now, suppose, can you guys quickly tell me what will be the what will be the output of df? I got this type output earlier. Now what will be the output of df? Yes. Same as Vijay said, same as old. 100 in attendees. Thiru said 264. DF not changed. Ashish said. Anandraj said 206. Okay, got it, guys. Mixed answers. Few of you got right. And as Vijay also said, unchanged. Anand Raj is saying 164. No, that is already the second one, maybe. DF not changed. 100 in attendees. Ankita said unchanged. Same as old. 151, 152. Okay. Anyway, so got it. Yeah, latest answer same as old since it's not assigned. You're right, Sankal. DF does not change. You're right, Rashmi as well. DF does not change. You guys are right. So see, look at this. DF won't be changed. The reason here is here we have changed it. We have assigned this. Whatever changes are back to the attendees column we are assigning. So it is like, you know, I'm doing this equal to I'm doing something. So whatever I'm doing is assigned and the data frame is getting changed. But here I have only used the data frames, this particular column, and I have added something to that column, and that is displayed. So my original data frame is not getting changed, and that's the reason I still have 52, 64, and 106. So these are the two different things I did, and that's how it looks like. Okay. Now df.info. So as we see many functions in NumPy, so we have many functions and tools in pandas as well. This gives me the information about how my data frame looks like, what all indexes we have, what is the index values we have, what all columns we have, data columns we have. For example, year is there, attendees is there. It's just a two and a small data frame, so probably you won't see much difference here. But for a bigger file, you will definitely see a lot of information from this info function, right? And we see the data type as well. This is an integer type data. And one more important function is describe. And if you look at this, this gives me some more statistics related stuff, right? Just hold on for this. In the next session, or maybe today during the last few 1 hour or so, we will talk about what is this mean, median, standard deviation, and all these things, the interquartile range, and all these things we are going to talk about. But to summarize, to quickly understand the data, here the attendees is there for each year, and now this information is displayed in this way, where I will say that, okay, what is the average attendees? So 74 is the average attendees for last 3-4 years, whatever record I have. So this gives me little more clarity, more information about which human can easily understand, right? So if I say the average attendees 74 for 4 years, so I can think about, okay, what is happening, how am I doing well, how this program is happening, this event is happening. So maybe that kind of decision is easily taken. Instead of looking at all the, let's say, three numbers separately, I would say, okay, what is the average count I'm getting, right? What is the total count I have in this data frame? These are 3 records I find in this data frame, and so on. So I will come to this with multiple data frames, but describe, info, other such functions we have been using, like here value, index, size, unique, shape. So a lot of such functions we will see going forward. Okay, so this is about basic stuff, how we can see. There is also a way to read some other type, to read some files here. Like if you see no, not df, suppose data frame equal to pd dot read, uh, and if you do read tab, you will get all the similar functions which starts with read, and you can probably go and see what all functions you find here. Okay, So you can just do this, and it might be useful. This is the tool. Sorry, Jupyter Notebook will help us to give that using this tab button. Okay, so yeah, so if you do this, you will get to know about what all files you have, and maybe you will read some type of specific file. I would go for, let's say, Excel or CSV file, right? Many times we do read data from the CSV or Excel sheet or whatever, right? Whatever files you get, you can probably use that. So let me see where I find some data set, and whatever data I will be using. So I will be putting it in the LMS today itself. Do I have data here? Okay, so this is the file, let's say, and I have some books related book. No, okay, no problem. I will go for some other data. Just a moment. Okay, so I will get this books.csv. Now I have added. Okay, now if you see a df, so since this is a small book, I can, no, there are many records. In fact, there are 11,000 records, uh, right? So what I will do is, I can't see, I got this whole books loaded here. I will only want to get only few rows, right? By default it will display only top 5 rows if I use head function. Okay, we didn't use head function earlier here because we had only 3 records. We could see easily, right? If I have this 30 records or maybe 300 records, this Jupyter Notebook could not probably show us in a single page, or maybe I don't want to see whole data sometimes. So we can do this head function. So head, whatever number I provide, those many rows it will print if I want to get it, right? And from top, of course. Now let me see what this file is and how this file looks like. My Excel, I think, yeah, my Excel is not active, but anyway, we can see it. See, this is the details. This is the data we find. Let's say I find somewhere, and this is publicly available. Most of the data files I'm going to use, we have many data files. So all this data we will work on going forward. The cancer related data, the blood pressure, we have diabetes, Ebola, then gas prices, the Play Store, Google Play Store, or some historical data, customers, market basket analysis, movies, online retail data, Titanic data set. We have many good data sets on which we can work going forward. And there are some more built-in data types as well, which we will talk about, and we will work with different data types to get more hands-on. Just to tell you that, okay, this is the information. Suppose I receive in a file in Excel or in CSV file. So this is a huge information, right? So suppose I want to get some information out of this, some some meaning, or I want to understand what it is, how it looks like, right? So we will try to apply these functions, and we will try to understand how this can be used, right? Let's say head is something we have seen, and now I would like to say, let's say, describe. And definitely this may not be the good idea, but describe based on this book ID. I don't know, right? There is no point in getting this average of book IDs, right? But at least I get a count. Okay, or for that matter, we have count function as well. So we will know that, okay, book IDs are these many total records, title is this many records. Suppose if any of the ISBN number is missing for a particular book, so we will see that okay, ISBN is 11,003. That means nothing is missed here in this data. This all records are perfectly fine. But by mistake, if any information is missing, and if suppose ISBN is missing and that is suppose critically important, so I would have to probably skip that whole row, right? Or I want to see how many such things are there in the data where this may not help to do some kind of computation on the data, right? So that kind of decisions we can take to play with the data. Let me also open one more file. I will come to this later on. Let's say I was talking about Titanic, df.head, and we see that okay, in this particular data set we have passengers. We need to understand data, guys. This is really important when we think about writing algorithm for machine learning. Without understanding data we can't do anything. So we have to understand data. What is this? This is a passenger ID. This is the survival of a person, whether the person is survived or not in the Titanic. Then there's a passenger class. There are different classes. Now we don't know how many classes are there, right? But we can't manually open this file in the Excel and count this, right? Or we have to do a lot many things to count in the Excel. We have to create a formula and all, but we don't need to do that. Pandas has everything, every capability to get that kind of summary of your data. So this is the names of the passengers. This is the sex, who how many people, male and female. This is the age of the person, right, corresponding age. And we can also want to see how many old people greater than 50 age maybe, or how many teenagers, right? So this kind of information we can probably pull out and get some information, right? So this is sibling, I think. I don't know what is the same, but some information we will see. Parts, the ticket number, the fare, what is the fare, the cabin for each passenger, and embark location, embark port, right, from where they have embarked on the on Titanic, right? So this is the information we can see. But if I want to get more, we will try how or what it shows, and we will see that okay, this is some of the information. It shows something like total count is 8. The biggest number here is 891, right? It seems like these many passenger IDs, these many survival information, so every information is there. But age information is only for 714 people, meaning there are many records where there is no age information in this particular data set, right? So that is one. And there are many records. In fact, cabin is only for 204 people. The information is visible here, and that NaN means it's a missing value here. And that is what something, a little idea we get here with this, right? Now let me see if I want to get how many mails were there. So as we know how to access, let's say, or I would say, I have this data frame, and I want to access, let's say, this particular column, right? And I say that, okay, I got all the that particular column, all right? So all the information of that particular column. Now I want to see, if it is male. So it is saying that okay, true, false, true, false, true, false. But this is not something really useful information. I want to see this condition. If this condition is true, I want to see that information. So if you look at this now, this is now this all data, all people are of just male people now, right? Just male value here in this column, and passenger ID passenger ID 1 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, and so on, right? All these are male, and for that matter we can get only the female data as well. See only female data, right? So now how many males and how many females were there? How to get that? So I will say, let's say females, and females dot count. right? I get that. Okay, there are 14 females and males. Of course, remaining are males. Okay, and 577 are female, right? So this is how we can do some kind of manipulation or some kind of analysis, or play with this the syntactically, how we can use this data frame to get anything, right? So let me revise a bit here. Maybe you guys may be seeing that so many things are happening. What is the syntax and all, right? Any question till now, guys? Do you guys follow? Okay, Sudha says yes, and Vijay is having a question. Does it have a key? Okay, good answer, good question. Anybody has answer? Vijay is asking, does it have a key? What is first column? How it picks up? Is this library is built in with Python? Ashish is saying, is this library built in Python? Okay, if you have installed Jupyter Notebook, so that is built in. You don't have to install it. Okay, but yeah, it's a good point, Ashish. Good that you raised this point. But here, if you would like to use Python like this, I have Python 2 and 3, so I use Python 3. So now if I want to do this pandas as PD, so it worked for me because this is installed on my Python, and Python 3 is referring to Anaconda only here. But at times, like maybe you might have different Python 2, Python 2. Let me see. Oh, this is again. Just a moment. See, I have both the Pythons here. That is the reason. I have Python 2.6 as well. See, look at this. This is a Python 2.6, different Python version again. Here, if I see pandas, still, oh, there's no library, right? So you don't find this pandas library by default when you install Python. But Python installation is one thing and Anaconda installation is another thing. Okay, both are exclusive for sure, right? If you have Python and you're working, you can work, of course. And if you want to install Anaconda and if you're working on Anaconda, so you can go ahead and work with Anaconda. If you are working with Anaconda, you don't have to install Python as such. But if you are working with normal Python and you are working with some other editor, you might not find Python there, right? In that case, you have to do pip install pandas. Okay, and this will, and definitely you have to be connected to the internet if you are connected. So this will pull the pandas package from pypy.org and it will be installed, and that way you can start working on. Okay, yes, is that clear, Ashish and others? Okay, and now Vijay is asking about is there a key, and what is first column, how it picks up, right? Or if you want to pick up the first column, how to do that, right? Or what is the first column itself you're asking? Yeah, here. So we will work out with first column is index. That's first thing we have to understand, and we have seen this in a basic simple example here as well, right? Here we have renamed with the indexes, but here default indexing is like 0 to whatever number of records we have, right? It starts from 0. So this is indexing, right? And we will come to that, how indexing can be used and how we can access some of the data using indexes, or some of the rows in fact we can access from indexes. And how to access column is of course column is accessed by these keys here, right? Meaning we have the header here, right? This is a header, and using header we can access a column. Same way we did here. Yeah, let me just do one more here thing is df dot or df, and I will only get the name. Okay, see, look at this. I got only the names. Now the same thing I can write is this way also, guys. Okay, just in case if I do this in future, So this is also possible, right? It is just giving me one column. Okay, understand, this is one column I'm getting, and this index is by default printed because this is again is a data frame only, right? So this is of type data frame. If you see this, you will probably find it. Okay, so this sorry, this is series, right? Yeah, series, because the first column is series, as I said. So series is again having the indexing, and that's how we can see, right? So only the names of this particular data set, right? Now the same thing we did here is for the sex. So we find all the people where this condition is matching, right? Female, right? All the passengers, all the female passengers will be printed, and I'm creating a data frame, right? Another data frame, and that data frame is now females, right? And females, if I do count, if I do any other operations, I can only do the only it will be applicable to this females data frame, right? And remember, our original file is not getting changed. Nothing is happening to the original file. The moment we read this file here at line number 45, so we got this everything into our Python program now, right? Your original data is not getting disturbed. Sudha is saying your charge. Oh yeah, okay. Charge is charging, right? Yes, Sudha. Yeah, okay. I have this. I'll plug here. Thank you. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So yeah. So this is the basic here. The simple one. So we get this names, and we get this different data set, data frame using some condition, and now we can work with the another data set. Maybe I will just try to get you let's say old people and males, old males and old females, right? This is again important. How many old people are there and how many old female are there, how many old male, right? So maybe old people, right? Old people, I would say how to get that. Df dot age, right? Do we have age? First let me again get this df dot head, because this will be easy for me to understand. Okay, there is a age column, correct? Now df dot age, if this age is greater than, let's say, 55, and let me see old, what is happening. Oh good, we got this, right? So now 55 is quite young people, about 60, 56, 65. Okay, oops. Old dot head, let me just get only few people here to list here. Okay, above 65 now. Okay, all people above 50, 65. Yeah, Sankalp, there is no difference at all between DF. Okay, his question was this: what is the difference between DF name and DF dot name? There is no difference, Sankalp. You can simply use. This is just a way we can do. So this data frame we can directly access with this name, but I would suggest not to use the second part. Okay, sometimes it is good, but sometimes it is not good. So better we should go only with this kind of notation. Okay, any guess when this is not good? Nobody? So if I have a column with name, let's say full name is one column. Okay, so in that case, if I do this, is absolutely no problem at all. But here if I try to do this, this is not going to work, correct? So it will, the space says that, okay, you are doing something else and full is the only column you have, right? So in that scenario, this is not good. The better way is to go with the first way only. And by the way, there is no difference. It will just access the column. Okay, now we got old people, right? How many old people are there? Let's see, right? Old male and female. Oh, there are only eight are there, right? Okay, let me see how many of them are female and male. I can see only the male whose age is more than, how come? Okay, maybe I have changed my data frame. Data frame is, this is the data frame. I got this data frame now. I run again. And now on this data frame, I'm just putting the filter of age 65. Okay, yeah, there is a possibility that, okay, all the people who are more than 65 are male only, right? Maybe I'll check with 60, and all the people who are more than 60, there are few female as well, right? Like for one female is uh, 63 and another is 63, and you might find, see, 62 and so on, right? So there are female and male passengers whose age is greater than 60. Maybe I'll go with this data set now, right? Old people. Or maybe I want to get only the mm, you know old males only, right? Suppose I want to get only males. So how can I do is, I can also do this, add this two conditions in this particular square, right, index operator. And of course, when I use this and, there is a ampersand. Ampersand can be used as a and operator inside this data frames syntax. And here, if I see, we already see that how to get only the male people or female people using this condition, right? Here, since there are two conditions, we should go for this round bracket, guys. Okay, now I hope this is clear. Let me see if it works first. Okay, so now I got only male passengers whose age is greater than 60, or maybe let me just do this female. So there are only three, I think. Yeah, there are only three, 63, 63, and 62. We saw this earlier here only, right? So only female passengers whose age is greater than 60. Okay, that is how we can do. No, Sankalp, I think we can't use and. His question was, can we use and? Let me see. No, I think we should use this. And is a Python's, operator. Right now, we are in Python, of course, but inside data frame, we are forming one expression, and this will understand with this ampersand only. Okay. So is this clear, how I am getting this, adding multiple conditions, how to get only the female passengers whose age is greater than 60, greater than 60. So this is how we do, guys. This is how we do get some more insight using programming, because it's difficult otherwise to go in Excel and find this manually or put some filters there, and then how can I create this data inside your Python. So this is how we can do, and we can also do manipulate this more, in fact. And suppose I want to build a machine learning model that will predict some information, right, based on this existing data. Now I would like to see how many were survived and how many are not survived, and later on my machine learning model should say that, okay, out of the survived people, what are those people, who are those people, whether they are male, female, which category of the passenger they are, which port they embarked on, what is the age of those people, what is this, lot of information is there, which will what is the class they were traveling. So all these things is information will help to predict that, okay, if there is another Titanic now, and if the passenger is embarked on that particular port, we will predict that, okay, what is the chances that if same thing happen, what will be the chances that the people will survive, right? A person will survive. So for that matter, definitely this is not a right use case for doing this, but this data set we can use for analyzing our data, right? We can explore the data, understand the data, and similar techniques we will use for other data sets going forward. So let's say if I want to really get into that more detail, so there are few things which might not be important as such, right? So whether a person is survived or not, okay, if I want to see that, if I want to predict that, if I want to train my machine with the help of other data, so for that, passenger class is important, name is important maybe, right? Gender is important, age is important. These are information is important, but I don't think uh, ticket number is important. Or maybe I think ticket number is important, that passenger ID might not be important, right? So passenger ID has nothing to do whether that person was survived or not, or ticket has nothing to do, right? But definitely fare can be, because if higher fare means this might be having a better class. Or maybe I would say that, okay, class and fare is redundant kind of thing, right? I would even skip the fare information. Definitely, see, this is $77.9 for class 1, and class 3 is only $9, and class 1 is $80. So meaning that, okay, higher the class 1 is generally paid higher amount, so maybe fare is again redundant information. I may not need it for this kind of prediction or understanding who survived has what features, right? So that kind of information, that kind of feature analysis we can do going forward. So how to do that is, we can also drop some of the columns if I'm not really interested, right? What I want to drop, I can have this labels equal to, and let's say I want to drop this passenger ID. Okay, and if I look at this, it is saying, giving me some error, and I see that, okay, not in the axis. Okay, so what does that mean is, by default it is trying to apply this on the rows, and it is trying to find if there is any row with this passenger ID. But to access any row with row, we have indexes. In fact, I should have used index to access any particular row, but my aim is not to access rows. My aim is to access a column, and I want to remove an entire column. Okay, so for that we have another argument here, and where I can do access equal to 1. Okay, and I see that, okay, now there is no passenger ID, right? Only the required information is what I'm doing, because going forward, suppose I'm getting information from, let's say, any social media, or any manufacturing plant, a lot of information I receive. So definitely, if I want to write a model, I cannot take all the 100 parameters which we receive. Okay, let's say if I'm getting some parameters of a machine, which is or maybe some manufacturing plant I'm getting, or a sales information I'm getting probably. So what is this particular product, who are the target audience, target customers, uh, which area I should target for. There are hundreds of features, hundreds of possible parameters we have to consider to write a model which will help us to predict that particular sale for that particular product, right? So in that scenario, definitely you might get hundreds of parameters, and you cannot build a right model with lot of parameters. So we have to fine tune, we have to change something. Okay, so yes, Jagdish, I'm coming to that. Axis equal to 1 I'm doing again. I will do in some time, and we will be doing this multiple times, in fact, but again I just quickly repeat this. Axis equal to 0 and 1, these are the two possible values, and by default axis is 0, meaning, so axis is 0 means on the rows it is applied. This whole thing will be applied on rows, and when I say axis 1, the whole thing is applied on columns, right? So passenger ID is what I am trying to drop using drop function, and then automatically, if I don't use this, by default its value is axis value is 0, meaning by default it will apply on rows, meaning it will search this passenger ID for as a index here, but it won't find, right? But my aim is to drop the column, not the row, correct? My aim is to drop this particular thing, okay, selected part. So that's why I need to use axis equal to 1, and I see that okay, this has now changed and I don't have passenger ID anymore. But look at data frame, but it is actually having passenger ID as well. My data frame has not changed, but it has just displayed without that particular. How to change it now? I have to probably write this way, okay, and this is now changed. Is this clear? The one I did this, let me again get my data frame loaded because I have already removed this. Yeah, I will load again, and now I will run this. Now this is dropped, and if you look at this, you still find this uh, passenger ID. So instead of doing this, I can do df equal to, and then I will do df. Okay, this is the way, right, we can do. But there is one more option which we can use. But is this clear for now? Any question, guys? There is no lot of programming as such, but the basic stuff we learned about the comparison operator. This is what we are doing. We learned this equal to and the basic programming concept, right? So Niriksha says clear, but how about others? I think I'm getting very less responses. Yes, guys, quickly. Is this clear? You want something more? Okay, I see Anil, Srihari, Ankita, Ashish. Okay, great. Okay, I see Jagdish, Abdul, Thiru, Sankalp, Anand is following. And Sankalp, since we are reassigning data frame to data frame DF, yeah, just a moment. Yeah, reassigning data frame to DF, the original data frame will be dropped. Yes, of course. Rashmi says it's clear. And yes, Sankalp, you're right. Original will be dropped, of course. For example, x equal to 10, y equal to 20. Later on, when I do x equal to 30, so the memory for this will be dropped, cleaned up, and a new memory will be created with this 30, right? Same thing applies. So the basics are really important. That's why I stressed again and again multiple times that first couple of sessions we were slow and we only focused on Python basics. And I hope that you guys are doing some hands-on. Whoever is doing hands-on, I'm pretty sure they will definitely follow this. This is not really a tough stuff right now, but we will do more going forward. Okay, guys, so let's take a quick break for 10 minutes, and I will be back by 9:15, and I'll resume. I'll continue with the data frame again. Okay, feel free to ask questions meanwhile, and I will come and talk about that. Okay, I'm going on mute, and see you in 10 minutes. Bye. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, am I audible? Can someone just say yes, no? Okay, got it. Yeah, I see some questions here. I Abdul is asking for our practice, we may have this data. Yes, Abdul, I will share. See, along with the notebooks, I will keep on sharing all the data files, data sets we are using during sessions. And one more thing before I start, yeah, let me talk about the second question first. Vijay is saying, I saw PD dot series is case sensitive for series. Okay. So Vijay, a question for you. What is series here? Or what is drop here? Drop is a function, so definitely capital drop won't work, right? It is an object function, and we have seen object functions are definitely every function, be it an object function or a Python function, a built-in function, they are case sensitive, of course, right? So drop, we have to use only drop. So series is again a part of this data object, that PD pandas data object, and series is a class. That's the reason yes is capital. If it is yes is capital, we can't use small. And if it is small, we can't use capital for sure, right? So since it's a class, it is capitalized, right? The first, usually we use the capital name for the classes when we write our own, and built-in also they have the same thing, right? If they have used yes capital, we can't use yes small here, right? And that's the reason this is case sensitive. So everything is, every object or sorry, every function or classes is case sensitive. If it is built in capital S, so definitely we have to use capital S. A good observation, and yes, it is case sensitive. Any other question, guys? If not, then let me go and talk about this particular book for Python. For those who got something uploaded in the LMS, fine. But this book I didn't upload on LMS. The size is around 30-40 MB maybe. But this is freely you will get. You have to just search Learning Python by Mark Lutz. Okay. So let me just make a little bigger here. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so this is the author here, Mark Lutz. So this book, you will find it anywhere, right? You don't have to worry. You just put in the Google, and you will find it. Okay. So for those who want to learn Python, this is the week. This is a crucial week, guys. Spend some time on the basics, especially those who are struggling to understand the syntax again, right? And anyway, whatever we covered is enough for us going forward, so no need to really explore the advanced concepts in Python. So for machine learning, for AI, we don't need that extensive coding, so that's the reason it's okay to learn only the required stuff. Okay, so that's the book, and another couple of books I will upload. For example, I have one more small book on Python hands-on, so I will upload this today, and whatever I find with the relevant topics, and the dataset file, that CSV, titanic.csv, books.csv, and if I use something else, I will keep on uploading by after the sessions. Okay. Mm, yeah, here we want to do something more. See, we got this data frame now, and how we got is we have discarded the passenger ID. The same thing we can also do is using one more way. Let me just get this again. Okay, I can do the same thing here once again. See now, oops, why? I have Titanic, and why I can't see the passenger ID. df. Oh yeah, so I'm dropping here, right? So before here, I should have done this. I would see this data frame head. Okay, here I see passenger ID, and here I have dropped it, but it is not changed in the data frame because I'm not assigning that to a data frame which I did here, right? Okay, I did this, but now I comment that part, and instead of doing this way, there is a way we can do is using in place keyword argument here, right? If I make it true, so it will now reflect the changes inside a data frame as well. Okay, so now this messenger ID is discarded and I have a data frame without a passenger ID, right? So both the things are same. What is in place, guys? In place is a keyword. No, not a keyword, but it is a uh, keyword argument. I would say it's an argument to a function drop, right? It's not a Python keyword, by the way. Okay, keyword argument, I would say, because that, like axis is one, in place is another, and so on. So but what it does, how it is, what is happening because of this? That was my question. Okay, I'm asking changes source data frame. You're right, Vijay. Sankalp to drop the column in original data frame. Yeah, original data frame. Sankalp, you're right. Affect the changes in the data frame. You're right, Niriksha. Anandraj, drop column apply to data frame as well. Perfect, guys. Okay, I think you are understanding now. So in place will do in place change, right? The change is happening then and there itself. Operation, Rashmi said operation is changed directly in the data frame. You're right. So change is happening directly in the data frame, then and there itself it is just making that change, and that's what it is, right? Perfect. So in place we will be using this with multiple functions. Axis we will be using with multiple functions, and whenever we come we will again talk and we will see the impact again and again, right, later on. So now df dot let's say embark, right? So I see that, okay, this is the embarked ports, but how many of these are there, right? How to see that? Embarked, I'll use this way, okay, just to avoid your confusion. So what do you think, how many are there, right? Yeah, I see a message from Ashish. It's not clear to me. So Ashish, you mean the in place is not clear to you, right? Or any other thing? Yeah, in place is not clear. Okay, okay, I will explain this. First, let me complete this. Embarked is what? How many ports? Port, maybe S is the name of the port, C is another name of the port, Q is the name of the port. So how many such ports are there? How to see that is unique is the function, right? And obviously, right, whenever you feel that there is something unique, something obvious functions, we can just try, right? We can't remember everything. So since we used unique function in NumPy, I think it works in here in pandas as well. I tried, it worked. That's it, right? Whatever you want to do, you have to just think what you want and try thinking about some obvious functionalities, and it has this, right? Because if I try to do dir of a data frame, it's difficult to find the functions here, right? Go in each and every, because this is a huge data frame, guys, right? And so there are a lot of functionalities and lot of things here. See, drop is there, drop duplicates is there, right? So we can also see if there is any duplicate row, we can also drop, and that's again important because when we deal with data, we may not want to process the duplicate data, right? If we have huge data and if we have duplicate data, it is a more processing, and it is not a good idea to have this kind of data. We have to be very precise with the data, what exactly we want, what exactly we don't want, what is missing. So we have to handle everything, right? So we have these functions here, we can see that, and we can start using. Okay, so many functions, you may not remember everything. So at times, if you want to find something specific requirement, you go and understand how to get something from this. But wherever you feel obvious thing, right, like unique is there and some functions are there, you can directly use those and move forward. Okay, so let me just go back. Yeah, here. Okay, this is how I see that. Okay, there are only three types of ports where people passengers embark. NN means that is missing, and it also shows that. Okay, now, yeah, in place. Let me also do the same thing once again for another variable here, right? Here, instead of passenger ID, now I will go for ticket, because I'm not interested in the ticket number. Okay, now Ashish, look at this. Now whatever data frame I got is not having this ticket, because we have dropped that column. Why column? Because of this axis equal to 1. Okay, that column is dropped, and I got a data frame where that particular column is no more present. Okay, but if I look at df, okay, here df dot head, I still see that ticket column, right? But actually that data frame is not changed, but only I'm displaying that particular part is here, right? That change is only temporary here. Okay, it is like earlier I showed you, right? So adding some number, I think, let me go back here. I have added some number to a particular column. Yeah, here. So we have added 100, and this added values printed here, but actual data frame was not impacted with that change, right? Because that change was not gone to a data frame. So for that, we have to do is, what we have to do is we have to equate, we have to assign that back to the data frame, right? And something we have to do, because this is just accessing. This means you are just accessing and adding some value, and same thing here. So if you are trying to do this ticket labeling, so you are just accessing this particular drop column, dropping the columns and then displaying that, right? We are not assigning back. So for that reason, we have to do this df equal to, meaning your now original df is now overwritten. So I don't want to really override that kind of operations, right? It is like cleaning up memory and then assigning, but there is a provision to have one more parameter inside this drop function itself, and that will be in place equal to, if I make it true, I'm saying that, okay, make this change in place change, right? Meaning let it happen implicitly then and there itself, while applying this functionality. So apply in the same data frame and change that data frame. That's what we are explicitly telling with the help of this argument, right? And by doing this, now I see that, oh, still there. No, it's not there, right? So now ticket is not there. Correct. I have applied this, and now this is getting changed. Is this clear now, or somebody else will explain in some simpler way? Ashish, you got it? Okay, Ashish got the answer now. Okay, anybody else has any problem with the in place and axis, guys? Okay, I will ask these questions later on. Axis equal to 1, why? Can somebody tell me why axis equal to 1? Yes, Ashish, yes, others. I got answers. I'm just reading. Vijay, Sudha, Niriksha. Okay, got it. You guys are right. How about others? Okay, Sankalp, you're right. Anand Raj, okay, right. Srihari, you're right. Yeah. Ashish, Okay, right, Ashish. Okay, guys, I got all the answers, and everybody is saying that it will apply on the draw on the column. It's a column deletion. It is applied. Drop is applied on column. X axis equal to 1 for column. It will affect the column. Drop applies to column for column. Okay, okay, got it. And in place is for in place change. Then and there itself, it will change the data frame. Okay, and now we have seen that unique as well, and we can also see df dot let's say I will do something with this names. What I get is names I got, but sometimes I want to apply some of the string functionality, because see, look at this. This is all string data, and we want to do something with this data as well. Sometimes these names have, the whole address. It's maybe address as well. So maybe if I want to do if I want to perform any string operation, .str I can do. And for example, later on, if I do use upper function, I will see what happens. See, I got it. So my names are now capitalized, and I see that capitalized names. So meaning I will do this capitalize also. The first is capitalized, but by the way, this is anyway capitalized even before, right? So maybe I did upper that for that reason. So these string operations can be applied with the help of this str. Okay, so str is there, as we can use this, and we can apply any string operations on the data frame. Okay, okay, now the next is let's say I want to do something with the missing or null data, right? Maybe let me see if I find something. Is null, yeah, is null is a function, and I want to use this any or I want to use this, yeah, any in the axis, particular axis. Let me just check first if it works. Okay, we are just checking that on the axis equal to 1, if anything is missing, right? If anything is missing, I'm just trying to get that particular data, and maybe that will help us to find. Let me just see that if that is true, then whatever is missing on the axis, it is just displaying, right? See, look at this. On all the na, whatever is missing, any in any column, if you find nan, right, we are trying to display that only, right? So that is what this will do. Okay, again, this is not an in place change. I can't do in place here. There is no function as such, but I can assign this back df equal to, or any new data set, let's say missing data, right, equal to. So something this way we can do. Okay, sorry, missing dot head. Okay, so oops. Okay, so we got all the data which where there we find something missing for any particular column, or maybe for that matter we can only do with a particular column cabin. Okay, and just try, oops, what happened? Axis named on object series. Okay. I don't know if it will work. We have to yeah, so definitely I think for the data frame we have to use this isnum, but if I want to get only with a particular object, particular column, maybe you can do this df dot cabin equal to and maybe you can check with that, right? You will find only those. No. Okay, we find all, let me count this first, how many are there. Okay, there are many records where we find at least something is missing in any of the columns. Okay, so maybe we can use this the other way. If I want to get only with the cabin dot is na, maybe instead of is null. Okay, is na is there. only with the cabin. Okay, that's what I was trying. Df, yeah, I think this way we can find. Let me just do this. Count, yeah, this is little less that cabin, because we have observed earlier that only the cabin is having a lot of missing data. We have seen this earlier, right here somewhere when we saw this. Yeah, see, cabin is having only 100 records, right? So that's why we are trying to see how many are missing, and definitely it is like 687 is missing, right? Is this clear? We filter column cabin, but we use any, it means all columns, right? Yes, no, any column wherever it finds. Okay, Thiru is asking for filtration. We used any means anywhere it finds, it will do, right? Let me go back again, and I will explain this once again. I got this here. So let me tell you now. Here, if you look at this two expressions here, 132 and 133. Okay, 132 is specific to cabin data. Okay, I'm checking is null on only on the cabin data, is NA. And this is null any, meaning anywhere, because see, this cabin is a specific column we are trying here, but here on any column, right? Any why column? Because of this, on any column it is just checking if there is anything missing. For example, here there is a NaN, right? Even cabin has no NaN, this would have printed, this record would have considered, right? So here there is cabins are many cabin where we find this NaN. That's why it is a coincidence that this and this both are NaN. But even if this was not NaN and age was NaN, this would have considered in this particular expression, right? So that's what it is, and that is the reason we have around 708 records for this, and we have only 687 records for cabin specific. Means cabins is the only field where we have maximum missing information. Is this clear? Now, if I do the same thing for age, let me see, because age is where you won't find a lot of missing information, right? So now age is the number, uh, and wherever you find it's missing. Oh, count. No, I'm not interested in count. Yeah, age. See, look at this, and I find that this age is missing. Wherever age is missing, this information is fine. And mostly when the age is missing, cabin is also missing. So cabin is by default missing for many records. Okay, so this is how we can also try to apply this. How to find something missing, right? And for that, again, maybe we have many this examples like df embark uh, equal to, let's say, C. I just want to see how many people embarked from port C. Okay, so this is how we can just try applying these various functions, guys. It is pretty straightforward, but needs practice. Without practice it's not possible, and you can't remember everything. Okay, so it's okay to not remember everything, but a couple of times if you practice, you will see, right? Whenever I ask a question, I will ask that, okay, can you get me the records, or can you remove a particular record whose value is this or that, right? In that scenario, we have to apply our learning, right? First you practice and it will help you to understand, right? Now I will do something more. Let's say I did this something with the names, right? df name, what happens, it gives me the names dot str dot upper. This converts this to upper, right? So now I can also do df dot name dot str dot upper. Of course, this, I think you guys know this. Now df dot name dot apply. I can apply some functionality, and len is the functionality I'm trying to apply, and I'm seeing that, okay, what is the length of a number of characters of each name, right? So that I'm getting here. correct? So apply a functionality, right? Remember, apply function is used to apply a particular functionality. Same thing we did in map function yesterday. In map, a functionality is applied on the iterable object, and that's where we passed a function object. We are not calling a function, we are passing a function. Len is a function which is built-in function. If I want to call, we use round bracket, open and close. I'm not calling a function, but I'm passing a function, and this internally apply function will be applied on all the names. Look at this, all the names. Is this clear? Okay, Abdul is having a question how to drop n all. N all means null, N-U-L-L or N-A-L-L. Is this what you are saying, Abdul? Null, okay. I thought n all, I didn't know what was that, but anyway, it's null, right? Okay, how to drop null? So anybody got this answer, how to drop null? We saw here, Abdul, right? Here, if you look here, is null. We are actually dropping this null values only, right? So, okay, we are not dropping, we are displaying. Okay, good question. Now let's go back and understand our drop function back. Okay, here is the drop function. Okay, and now let's try to use this drop function to drop something. Okay, and how what we want to drop is something we will see here, right? Null. I don't want to go with any, but I will go with this. Okay, here this is actually getting me the names, all the records which he's having this particular missing value. But I want to drop what? I want to drop the all the records. If that is the case, I have to just get this headers or header. Oops. I will get the header here, and if I get the headers, I have to see how I can use this axis equal to one thing is 0, right? And then I want to use the labels. I don't want to use labels here, but I will put this whole thing as a row, because okay, let me explain a couple of more functions before this, because I want to drop this, but I'll come back to this question. A very good question, guys. Here I will do this in some time. Let me explain a couple of more functions. There is something called ilock and lock, right? That's where I can drop something based on indexes, right? Because if I'm able to drop using index, so that time I can drop whole data where there is age missing, right? So that is what we will do, right? Let me just cover about that particular function, and I'll come back to this question, Abdul, in some time. Okay, so yeah, what else? Anything else? Anybody has any question, guys? How to apply? Is this clear? How to use this drop function? I will do this in some time. Any question? Any more question? Okay, there is something called LOC and iLog. Yeah, so I want to get rows. To get rows, or maybe for that matter we can do with the column also, but get generally for the columns we can just do axis equal to 1 and we get the columns, and columns is we can read by directly using the header, right? So that's that is something commonly used. For the rows we can use labels, or that LOC function we can use to get the rows from the index. Okay, to get the rows with labels from index, right? Of course index, or maybe I'll simply say from index with label, I don't need to write it, but anyway this index is numbers, so we can simply say it's from the index. And we can also do there is something called iloc again, to get rows or columns, even we get columns also here also, rows or columns from uh, position, right, in the index, position in the index, right? These are the two functions again, important functions which we should know, and I will try to explain how this works with the same data frame. And once we are done with this, I will explain you how we can drop a column, a row where there is any missing data. Okay, so here df.loc loc, and you can just get it. How you get is the second, let me just do this first head, and now you see that the second row, right, where you find that survived is 1, p class is 1, name is this, where is that? Okay, 2 is this one, right? Yeah, it's Lena. Okay, this one, the class is 3, female, age is 26, and so on, right? So yeah, fair. So this particular row is picked with the help of LOC, right? Till now we have never picked a row, and now we understand how we can pick a particular row using a index there, right? So that is what this LOC will do. And let me see if I can do a couple of examples with LOC to do kind of a slicing and all, right? Let me just do this. If I can do this slicing, if I can remove some of the rows, if I can get some of the rows, we can also do many things with this kind of slicing, or getting this extracting the data and assigning to other data frame. So 2, it will start from 2 up to 5. So 2 3 4, 2 3 4 and 5, right? Let me do this head, df dot head. How many are there? Df dot head of 10. I will get the 10 records, and the very first record is this, and from this record I'm getting the 4 records, right? This 5 index is there, all the index it is considering. Okay, so this much I can just pull out of this particular file. Okay, maybe I'll do one more example with other type of data instead of this only one data frame. Let's do I'll take one more data frame equal to, let's say, pd dot read excel. I have a excel data. I think some store information I have. Superstore, no. Let me just check that there is some store information. Superstore Excel. Okay. Where I have this file. Okay, I find it somewhere else. Okay, search data. Okay, I have one superstore. I just want to do. This is just some examples I'm using for easy understanding some of the operations. Here I'll put this, and now I will use this. Strange. Dot XLS. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so this is one more data set. I have some records. Let me just see how many records are there. There are around 10,000 records. And let me just see. Yeah, so these are some of the information. So this is some of the information we can use to see a little bit more about some more manipulation with the data, and I'll try to explain you how this we can use for this doing similar operations. Right here, what we have is a row ID, order ID, order date, a lot of information like customer, the name of the customer, country, and this may be a data from a maybe a store, a retail store, kind of a supermarket, and we don't have the product information as such, but yes, I think there is, yeah, I think there is product information also. Yeah, product is also there, the sale quantity, so discounts, everything, right? A lot of information is there here as well, right? So here, suppose I don't want much, some information, and maybe I don't want to use some information, or maybe I want to find something like postal code is there, or a region is there. So let us try to use something that df postal code, yeah, dot is NA, right? Maybe I'll try to see if there is any missing data there. Df, yeah, so this is postal code. Yeah, a lot of things are missing here. Can I get a count? 11 only, right? Okay, so we got 11 records where there is no postal code we find, and we can display that. Okay, or maybe I will do one more example is like region, and if it is a south region, I want to do or count maybe. Let's count it. Okay, there are 1620 records from this count, sorry, from the south, and we can have the customer name, no, sorry, count, or maybe you can just apply something, not count, but here we can just apply something, right? The same thing I'm doing here, just for a kind of revising stuff, and we can do that. Now let me also do df region, and we have seen that what is the unique region here: south, west, central, and east, right? These are the four regions. And now sometimes we have to yeah, Ashish is asking, is this complete file loaded at once? Yes, Ashish, the whole file gets loaded the moment we do this read. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, here, the moment we do this, the entire file gets loaded, and we have the records here, right? You see that all the 10,000 records are getting loaded here, and that's why we can do these operations, right? But yeah, is that clear? Now let me just see that here we have a region, and region is again a categorical data. Okay, I'll come to this categorical numerical data, but sometimes we want to convert this some of the information with some numbers, right? Because ultimately when we want to process more data, and we want that to be converted to a numerical data, and that numbers matters, and sometimes we have to convert, we have to change somehow with that, right? And now I want to get only the region, let's say south only, right? The way I did here somewhere. yeah, here, right, we can also have use that apply function. Just now we saw that, right, for the region, I will use this region dot apply, and I can use a functionality to apply. Maybe I'll use this function, right, func, but anyway func is not available right now. I will write a func here. Definition of func here will be whatever number I get, I will return what number I get. First is, let's say, x, right, return 1 if x is south, okay, and else I want to return 0. Maybe my interest is only to get the south data, okay. So now I got this, all the records converted that region from south, east, west to the numbers all zeros, and only south will be having one number, right? That kind of conversion also we can do using apply function. And for that matter, I can use lambda function. By the way, we talked yesterday about this lambda function also, right? So this is easy to understand, read quickly, correct? Right, so this is another way. This is how we can use apply function to apply some of this uh, some of the functionality to any data, right? Or maybe I can use this like we used already with the name earlier. How did we do? Apply length function, right? So we see the length here, and we can also see the max and minimum length, right? Who is the maximum name length of the person. So same thing, we could do this for our Titanic data set, where we have a really huge amount of huge names, actually bigger names. Mm, yeah, here, and if I do this name, so whose name is maximum is 82 characters, right? So again, that is something, a bigger name. Sometimes we want to play with this kind of analysis, and sometimes we have to probably skip something based on such operations, right? So that is something we can also do, okay. So this is one thing. And second is, again, we can convert the regions, different regions using different mechanism, like we did this, and we have applied this lambda function on the regions, okay. So yeah, this is about quick introduction how I lock and LOC, and how this various data frames we can play with and we can use it. Now let's come back to the question how we can drop. Maybe we'll do this after some time, after a break of 10 minutes again, and I will explain you how we can drop. Let me try it in the break, and I will get this solution, okay. So we will be back in 10 minutes. It's 10 o'clock now, 9:59, and by 10:10 we will be back. Any other question, guys? Anybody has? Okay, anybody's any question I missed? Because I'm getting messages, and I have a small window for messages. If any question is missed, please drop again, and we will see you by 10:10 then. Okay, guys. Yeah. Bye bye. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, so where we were talking about how to drop a null data, and we have also talked about LOC and ILOC, right? These are the couple of functions which we might use for some time, for some time, right? So let me do, something with the LOC, ILOC, and I can give probably some indexing here. And before that, let me just recall what was my data frame. I forgot here. Yeah, it is the again the same data frame we are using, that is Titanic. And suppose I want to use this, let's say 2. What it gives is based on the index, a second index, I'm getting that data, right? And now if I want to drop, let's say df dot drop, and df dot, maybe I can use some index. Yeah, index is there, and I can use it, let's say 2, to drop something, and I will see that okay, that 2 got dropped, right? Obviously this is not in place, so I have to do in place equal to 2 in that case, right? So and df dot head, let me see. Yeah, 2 is no more now, right? The 2, the second record got deleted. Now this is how we can do, or alternatively now it is up to us to find out the indexes, like 3, 5, 6, 7. Let's say I drop all these things, and now, oops, sorry, too many indexes for array. No, it will take one at a time. How come? Okay, then I have to probably, oh, okay, this is the index, right? I'm giving only one. I have to definitely give only one. And if I want to give multiple, definitely I have to create an array of multiple, and provide this to the indexes here, right? But now, for now, our goal is to delete only the null data, right? For now, we understood that how delete can be, drop can be used with the indexes as well as with the column names, headers, right? Headers is what we have seen here, right? Did we see headers? Okay, I'll do here. How to do using header? I think we did this, right? Where? Okay, I removed it. How to do this is using argument of this is called labels, and I can just provide the labels here, right? Whatever label I want. Let's say P class I don't want. Do you recall this? We did this, right? No? Yes? We did drop. What is your message? Yes, we did it, right? Yeah, so what is the syntax? Yeah, how to do it? Is this right one? Yes, quickly. Yeah, sorry, I missed your message. Yes, correct, and axis equal to 1. You're right. Yes, Anand Raj, you're right. Axis equal to 1 is what is required, right? So anyway, this was already done. In fact, I just gave a pause for you guys to think. Now we did this, where I was, okay, we got this indexing, how to use this index to get there is one more function, to use this here when we have some null data, is drop na. Okay, so df drop, yeah, see, look at this drop. We have 4 functions. So drop level is rarely used, but drop is used. Drop duplicate is used, right? At times we might find duplicate data, so iloc or lock will give you the data. It won't tell you whether it is duplicate or not. Okay, but drop duplicates will help you to identify the duplicates data and drop this out of your whole data set. And drop NA is used for dropping null data in your data set. Right now, drop NA takes many arguments here. Let me just check the help. How to get this help page here itself is shift tab. I think I explained this. Just go on the function there and you just press shift tab. This is a shortcut. Simply you get how to use this particular function. Here you have axis equal to 0. By the way, I did not do this, but here let me try and do that also. Right here, drop. In a drop function, you recall we used labels directly, and we saw axis, we used axis and we used in place. That's it, right? So there is like column, label, and all the other data is also available. But how we use this and how this function works is something, a brief description you get here, and you can find the description of that particular function, for that matter any function. Okay, so what we do is just click on that function, do shift tab, you get it here, and on drop NA I do the same thing and I find how to use this. Right, there is how argument. So how any means it will work on any, or how all we can use. So how to see what all things are there? See how any is there, all is there, and default is any. Determine if row or column is removed from data frame when we have at least one NA or all NA. Right, so many maybe we can use any, and that way we can just get how equal to any. Sorry, a small. Right, so this way it will drop if it finds any any column or any data it finds as a null data, and it will say only 183 are there where we have 100% data available. So definitely we don't want to drop this kind of huge amount of data definitely in practice. But whatever is missing, probably Kevin is missing, and maybe Kevin could be only the column could be dropped, but all the records we can't drop. Maybe age is missing. Maybe we can think about adding some average age of a person, or maybe the most people, suppose most of the people are around 40 years age, and then maybe we can fill that missing data with 40 as a number. So it's not good idea to drop all the records the way we are now dropping here. So or we can say that okay, all will be the good option, and here if it finds all the records missing, all the data is missing for particular column or row, because right now we are working on row. So it will put, and if you want to work with the column, of course this is the option, right? So anyway, it won't change because it won't find any column with all the missing values, but any will be will work here in this case, right? Not on the axis equal to 1, but it is on 0. Okay, so this is the another function which we can use, and we can see how we can drop, or maybe we can drop for the age we were talking about. What we can do is age uh, is null, is NA, and we can probably df dot count. Let me see how many are there. Okay, 117 ages are missing, means age is missing in 177 records. And if I want to drop this, what I will do is I will use drop NA here as well, and I will see if I do something here. Let me count it. Yeah, 7. Yeah, so so is NA, these many records are there, means only these many records. Wait, DFH is NA, means these many are missing, right? And now I am dropping drop NA. Okay, after I drop the null values data, I have only 712, meaning 712 is having the record. These are not null data, right? So that's what is the point is, right? Look at this age equal to 0, but for all these records now you won't find any age df2 equal to, let's say, um, oops, sorry, Yeah, now df2, I will use the same command and I will use only here the df2. Do you guys follow what I'm doing? Oh, it won't find age. Oh, okay. So this is not a data frame. This is actually a one series object. Okay, we can't do it. But my point was I was trying to tell is in this data frame, in this series now, you won't find a single record where there is no value, right? So all the ages are now there. So 712 records where there is age and 177 records there is no age, and that's what we have tried using is NA function. Okay, is this clear, guys? Anything else? Yeah, one more thing is there about drop df.drop function we used, and we have used, I was talking about how to drop based on the ilock and lock using ilock and lock functions. So where we can use this, first let me see, draw the head, our data set first. We find our data frame first. So now I got this data frame. Now suppose if I want to drop something based on some index, or maybe I'll try this with the help of indexing. So again, we talked about indexing in arrays, meaning NumPy arrays, and we have advanced indexing in NumPy array, and here ilock will also have that kind of indexing for rows and columns. So now I don't want to do anything on rows. Let's say I keep only colon without any value. I want to only work with the columns. Let's say I want to remove name and sex and age. Only these three the things I want to remove, let's say, right? So 0, 1, 2, maybe I'll start from 2 to 5, meaning including yeah, up to 5, but not including 5, right? So maybe this kind of things we can do, but of course I'm talking about a column, so axis equal to 1 is what I should use, right? And if I do that, see, look at this, I got this name removed, sex removed, age removed, and that's it, right? So this is how we can do using ilock function and drop function together, right? And of course I didn't use in place equal to true, so those changes are not reflected in the data frame, so we are still safe, and I can use the same data frame for um, the next example, right? Maybe I'll just show you guys. So there is still this name and other details of what we have removed, right? So the same thing we can also do using lock function, loc function. Here df dot drop, no, sorry, lock. Lock here again, I want to work only with the columns, so I will use probably name to age, something like this, right? Means from and to. So this is again rarely used, but of course we could do the same thing for the columns as well, right? Axis equal to 1. I hope this should work. Yeah, it is working now, right? So this is how okay, let's not go to that complications. This is kind of never ending thing. There are a lot many things we can do, but just hold on. So whatever you understand, at least you understand the basic stuff, how to drop null data, how to drop a record, which is, let's say, a column, which we did here. No, where is was that? So why I'm missing that? Okay, here is that, right? Yeah, particular the basic stuff, right? Where it's a small thing, a simple thing, how to drop something, right? This is important. So these are some of the basic operations, guys. I'm trying to explain you guys. So is there any question? Do you guys understand this? Is it fair for now? By the way, there is a type of object as well. Let me just see if I can do something. df.head. If you look at this, maybe I'll do describe and oops, sorry, and I get uh, head df.head, and I get df.count. Okay, so I see that the type is integer. Okay, this is for Specialty survival, yeah, all this thing data. Oh, who is yeah, is there any question? Okay, Abdul is saying, but still null is there, is not dropped. Is it? Which record, which row you are talking here? Still you find null data using drop NA, you tried, Abdul? Okay, let me come back, I will see. Yeah, where is that? Where you find your data is still present? In which record? Drop NA means here, right? We use drop NA here. Now you tell me what is missing? What you still see? Is this the latest question or old? It is latest question, right? Okay, Abdul, I just wanted to know, in my understanding, look at this age. I find is null is NA means where there is no data. I find 177. Yeah, okay, I will unmute you, and you can speak. Yes, Abdul. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, sir. For that sheet, like if you go and hit this, we can see header.
This 197.
No, no, go up, up. Yeah, in here, like we have just here line number 180. So if we apply the drop null operation, that just here.
Yeah, just a moment. Let me get that data frame once again because we have changed something, right? So I got it. Let's close that. I will get this freshly loaded data frame. Yeah, now I'm here.
Yeah. Suppose if we apply the null, like for example that code, in the cabin row, the like null should be removed, and other only the C85 should be there, like only the null. This where is the null in the second when we preview that same column should come, and these things should be removed, but we cannot see same things.
Yeah, okay, got it. So yeah, here you see this, and now here you are trying to see cabin, and you see that these many are missing. Okay, this is
No, no,
just one.
I want to see same
Got it.
frame.
Yeah, yeah. I'm coming to it. Okay, just a moment. Now the same data frame you are trying to get here without those values, right? Here, suppose I do this cabin, and I don't want to do it. First, let me remove. So I see that only these are now present. Okay, this is you can see now, right? The only thing is it's not gone back to the data frame because I didn't do that, right? Suppose if we do this now, and now if you do, just a moment, df.head. Now you look at this now. Oh, still there. Kevin.drop.na. Just a minute. Let me go back. I run this once again. I run this and I see that these many are null data. Now I'm doing this Kevin drop, and it is showing me that this is the data. It should show me all this, right? Yeah, all the cabins it is showing me. So there is no null value, right? Now the only thing is why this statement is not working. Df cabin equal to, I'm changing the df cabin to, yeah, this is not applied on the whole data frame. So only those cabins will be replaced. Okay, drop NA. Anybody have answer? What should be done? Yes, Sankalp. we got this thing that, okay, what is missing is what we found here, but the rows, the whole data we want to remove. If this is an A, okay, I can do something. No, Vijay, in place will, yeah, maybe we can try this. But where to use in place? In drop NA here? Head. Yeah, no, in place is not helping here. Okay, I will get it here somehow. Let me just recollect the things. Maybe I will find it how to assign this. Just by assigning it won't help because the original data frame still has everything, right? And this drop in A is basically uh, dropping, but why it is not taking effect? Okay, we find all this data. Okay, I'll come to this. I will drop a note in the LMS. I mean, in the same here. Here I will have this drop all rows. Uh, 1 second, guys. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Let me. Okay, Abdul, you try yourself, and I'll also drop this here later on. Okay, please share the data. I'll share the data, and Sankalp suggested df square bracket. Where df square bracket? I use Sankalp. What is that? What do you mean? Df? Yeah. Okay, maybe you're referring to this. Yeah, there is a way something should we might be missing. So here, okay, I'll do this. Maybe I don't want to waste all this time now, but I'll just fix this particular to do and drop all rows where cabin is missing. Okay, so I will do this and I'll post here. Okay, any other question, guys? Okay, Vijay is asking how to get the CSV files in LMS. Okay, in LMS, you don't have to worry. I will just put the folder inside that one folder. You will have these notebooks as well as these CSV files. I'll upload this today only. In this link, it is explained. Okay, yeah. So this is something Abdul has shared. Maybe in this particular link, it is shared how to get it. Yeah, it's drop NA. We did this same, right? We did the same, but why it didn't work? Yeah, it's all. I think we have to work with this. So you guys can get it quickly. I will suggest you do this and get me the answer from you guys only. It's, instead of I'm doing, you guys can do it. So what else? Any other question, guys? That's okay, Abdul. Thanks for sharing that link, and it will work for sure. No problem. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Just we have to just make sure that this the options are used correctly. Yes. Anything else? How about pandas, guys? Is it fine, or should I run am I going faster, or should I jump onto the next topic, or you want me to spend some more time on doing some kind of revision for another 20 minutes? Otherwise, I will go and jump onto doing something on matplotlib. Right, that's another library which will help you to get some visual understanding of your data, and that will help you to really do play with it, or maybe it's for exploratory data analysis, and we will use this. Okay, okay, Vijay is fine. How about others? Have I missed anything in the pandas? Even if I definitely I will cover all the things again. Pandas has data set in itself. Uh, Pandas has, I mean, we have some data sets, but we are yet to use the built-in data sets. We are using the external data set as of now. Okay, I will come to that. There is some Boston housing data. There is some, a lot of data. In fact, we have that is already there in some of the libraries. Like I'm yet to use the Iris data flow data set. So a lot of data is there, and we will come one by one slowly when we talk about a little bit on matplotlib, and then later on we will jump onto some other data sets. Okay, now matplotlib is another important library which we can import using this matplotlib. Okay, it is based on the MATLAB, based on some visual effects, visual graphs we can do, we can plot. So we use mostly pyplot, another submodule which is part of matplotlib, and we can create one alias. Again, this alias is not mandatory, but you can create. This is how usually we do. Now, how to plot something? Okay, if I want to plot, let's say I have some array, NumPy array. Let's say before that, let me import NumPy as NP, and here a range, I can use this function to get array 1 and maybe a range array 2, right? Or I'll just get this data, maybe I'll just square this because I don't want to keep exactly same data. The graphs won't be plotted separately then, right? So suppose plot is a basic function I'm using for a1, and I will see how it is getting plotted, right? See, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and it is just doing it. And if I do plot dot plot a2, and it also plots this another line, right? Automatically it has taken a different color, and it is now giving us this two plots for this. These are of course the linear plots that we have, but I will come to some other plots like plt dot plot, and if I want to plot some numbers, let's say 2, 5, 3, 7, 9, 3, 4, or 9, for that matter anything, or 8. Okay, and I can also do this, and I see that okay, this is how something can be plotted, right? So it is about simple data I'm trying now, but we can go with some real data, some different different type of data, but before that let me also try to show you. Sorry. Yeah, So here, we can have some kind of color notations or different styles of the graphs. We can do this, right? G means for the color, for green. And if I give a caret, it will do the rectangle representation. And for that matter, we can do hyphen hyphen for the dotted line, and the bold line, and so on, right? So there are many options we can think about. We can use it, and you can just see this help page here. Yeah, here the options are. Right, so you can just use this, maybe. Yeah, so this O is for round, and circles there, the data points represented, and this is graph, right? So I hope this is clear. This is another simple graph we are trying here. Now let me also do plot one more graph here. I'll start from one. And let's say anything for that matter, 3, 4, 7, 8, 4, maybe 13, maybe 10, and so on. I want to get this different color, right? Red color probably. Yeah, so this is another graph I can do, or maybe I'll use this red dotted line. And these are the two plots we have, and we can definitely do use some other functions along with that. Let's say X label, on the X axis what label I want to use, right? On Y axis what label I want to use. All right, let's say numbers on this side, and there's nothing, right? It's just a sample plot I'm doing, but it is not a useful plot at all. But I'm just trying to show you, introduce you with the line plots, first line plot. Mm, right, and maybe we can do this, and we got these labels here. See the number here and the time here, and first line plot, the label for this. For that matter, we can also save this, right? There is save fig function. So if you don't recall how to do, is I can simply just press tab here, you will find. Or you can also do dir of, sorry, dir of plot, right? This will give a lot of functions, a huge amount of functions here, but you can also do this quick stuff using the tab, and it will give you. So here, if you want to save, so you can definitely save this particular image plot, which you can just later on use in your document, right? I was just trying here with the file. Okay, first line plot dot jpeg. Okay, we can just save this as an image, and probably on my desktop I should be able to see this. Yeah, look at this, and I got this image. I can just put this in the in PPT if I want, and we can definitely do this, right? So anyway, so is this fine? Okay, sorry. Yes, Abdul, legend is also possible. We can have this legend, we can have everything, a lot many things we can do, and I will do this going forward. Okay, now let me load with some data frame. That way it will be good for understanding more. Okay, in fact we have this here I think we have some plots here. You guys can do this some hands-on with the series, pandas series and data frame, which we have already covered. But here there is some small examples. You guys can just do some hands-on here, okay, during the week time. Okay, if anything missed here, then please let me know later on. I will cover this part also. Yeah, this is something we have already seen, the simple one. plt.show is the function to show it, but Jupyter Notebook automatically shows, right? But if I am doing this in some other notebook or some other editor, for example, here suppose plot1.py, and if I do this here, oh sorry, right? We can also write our Python programs this way, right? So now it has, it has not showed. Okay, maybe it has displayed, but I don't know. plt.show should display this plot when we run this. Yeah. So that's where the plt.show function is useful, and this will be displayed otherwise it won't be displayed, right? So but Jupyter Notebook does this automatically, and that's the reason we did not use that show command. Okay, so this is about that show command, and let me just go. Yeah, these things I think we have tried. Yeah, see R hyphen hyphen and BS, that blue squares, right? And G caret, this is the triangles in the green color. This is square in the blue color, and dotted line in the red color. So all these things we can plot together, all these three in a single line, or we can do the way I did here in the two different lines. Okay, so this is about a line plot, and there is something called bar plot. So usually the legend we do here is in the bar plot, right? If you look at this is a simple data set which we can use, and we can just add this to the bar plot, right? So we can do that quickly, but I don't want to do with this dummy data. Instead, let me just take one simple data set. Let me just pull out some data set, and we can do some meaningful plots. Yeah, so here what I will do is, let's say I have gas prices data. So we have, oops, what happened? What it says is unsupported file. Okay, sorry. This is the CSV file, and I have to use CSV. Okay, so df.head, and I find this some of the the gas prices for different countries during different years, right? So maybe I want to do something here, and I can probably plot using let's say plot maybe based on the year, Y capital here, right? Year, and I can use this based on a particular country, suppose, right? df dot, let's say, Australia, right? Suppose I do plot this. What did I do wrong? plt dot plot df year, comma df Australia spelling. Yeah, the spelling was not good. Yeah, so this is the plot for Australia, the gas prices during various years, and now I can try to do the same for, let's say, Canada. Okay, and automatically it has done with the different colors, and we see some similar pattern of gas prices. And for that matter, I can do this for uh, one more country like France. Yeah, here right? Now if I do this legend, right, so it will also give me the colors. Oops, what happened? Plt dot legend. No labels. Okay, we haven't given any labels, so I will come to that. Let me read the question. How can we give different access? So what do you mean by different access, Abdul? You can definitely give whatever access you are looking for, right? For example, here it makes sense to graph based on the years, right? Various years, and maybe we will do a couple of more, and that time you will understand what we are doing. But no, manually I don't want to do this. Instead, what I will do is, let me do this df dot head first. And here if I go use a for loop in, let's say, country, in the various countries here, so these are the countries, suppose I want to plot. No, what I will do is, instead of all these countries, I will only go with a few countries. Okay, so instead of doing this manually, I'm just running a for loop here on each country, and now I want to plot for each country. Right now I got this year already hard coded, and here instead of Canada or hard coding this thing, I can simply use country. Yes, Abdul, I have unmuted. If you have something, please speak up, or you want to type. Abdul, I have unmuted you. If you want to speak, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay. Sir, like by different axes, I mean that suppose if we have like the variable different parameters, like with different unit, so we need to have different axes. For example, in the right side is, it shows, for example, unit is millimeter. We want to show some things in the right side, maybe in the meter per day, for example. Maybe in the up in the top axis, we can add some another axis. For example, in one graph, we can add 3 axes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With different
So
units.
with the different names, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. No, I still want to get little clarity, Abdul. You mean, there is one x-axis and y-axis. This is 2D plots. If you're talking about 3D plots, we are not doing now. We will talk
Okay.
about 3D plots later, and maybe, but this is Matplotlib is mainly for the 2D plots.
Okay.
Maybe when you say 3-axis, third axis means you are probably referring to the 3-dimensional,
Right now, 2 axes in the right, in the from the right side and left side. For example, if it is millimeter, for example, the unit of the left axis, like it's a millimeter. This one is maybe for meter, cubic meter per day, for example, something's different. So we can show axis in a one.
Okay, but that kind of data conversion can be done using some of the functions in the data frame, right? Is it not that?
Okay. Anyway, like
Yeah.
maybe I will make it
Yeah,
clear
maybe
next
you
day.
try. Yeah, try and.
Actually, I did it some things in the R. That's why I said maybe it's possible here or not.
No, I would say it is possible. Just that I want to know the exact what you are looking for. Maybe you do it in R and show me the graph. I will do the same thing in Python.
Okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
that will be better then.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So no handles with labels found to put in legend, right? So why it is not giving me anything in legend? Okay, I'll check why my legend is not getting printed, but I think this should be done here. Right here, import pandas as PD. Okay, I think it should give me the legend as well. So no handle for legend. Okay, no problem. I'll check why the legend is not printed. Can we, you have to use label equal to parameter. So Vijay, is it for Abdul or where? Do I need to use something here? plt.show. No, I think I should see the legend, but let me just do something with my setup. See, I do play with the system a lot. This was working. I don't know what did I do that it's not working now. It is in PDF. Okay, you are saying that you are saying there is something label equal to example 2. Yeah, is this for Vijay? Is this for Abdul or for me? You are suggesting to use this for getting a label, getting a legend. Oh, is it? Okay. So you just try it then. What label you have to do here? What do you label equal to? Plot. Sorry. Yeah. Here I just do this. The help page here, and what is this label? No, I don't see anything here. But you'll just get it then. You just make that label whatever you want to get, and if it is working, let me know. So this is a normal graph which will which is used to plot the various gas prices across the years, and we can save this. The basic stuff, basic operations we try to do on this using matplotlib. Okay, now not only that, but we have, since we have already used one more data set, that is Titanic data set. Let me do a little more about using different graphs to show this kind of data graphically, right? Uh, let me just open this. Yeah. Okay, here let's say I will use this Titanic instead of TF. It is easy for future use. Now suppose I want to use this Titanic dot 6. I want to see how many males and how many females were there. Maybe I can draw this using a bar plot, or maybe we can do this with different representations, right? Value counts. I want to just see how many were there, right? So maybe I didn't use this function that time. We used only count function. Count function also gives, but value count, let me just show this first. Value count gives you in this particular format, like it is like a unique and count. Earlier we used unique, I think I told you, Titanic dot 6 dot unique, and this gives me what all different male females, and then again we do this count, right? This is how we did, I think. No, this is now numpy. The unique will give me the array, but instead of that I did this count as well, and that way we got this count. Okay, maybe that we did, but anyway, now point is we are using this for these two values to plot it. So maybe we can use this plot plt dot plot a bar plot. We can also do this, or maybe we can do using a bar plot. There is a bar plot function as well. So let me just use this. No, we can use this instead of plot. Sorry, I use this plot from a data frame itself, right? There is a way, and there is another plot.bar plot, right? There is a bar, and here we can use this function as well. Okay, you can probably try this out as well. So it should do that. One is missing. Okay, you try this out, but first thing, let me talk about this is there are, the mails, number of mails here. Just 1 second, guys. This gives you the count here, how number of males and females in this data frame. Okay, so you just try this out with the bar, and you will find it with the help of this document PDF, and you see that here you have to just put the data set and you will get it. Okay, so this is one, and now the histogram we will talk tomorrow. And tomorrow we won't talk about box and whisker now, but scatter plot and pie chart we will do tomorrow. Tomorrow means in the next session. So yeah, so this is just a start of matplotlib. We are yet to explore more data sets, and with the help of more data sets, I will try to plot different types of graphs in the upcoming sessions, and then we will jump on to some statistics, some basics of statistics before we jump on to linear regression or any machine learning model. Any question, guys? Anything? Yes, no questions, is all good. There is one more point I left is purposely I kept aside for now. Please share the data I want to practice. Yes, Abdul, I'll share this data, and I will drop these notebooks as well. So there is something called grouping and sorting in pandas. So we can do group by, we can do sort the data, based on some conditions, some parameters, some ascending, descending, or some based on some particular columns. So we can do these things. I just avoided this today. The reason was, we have already talked about pandas for the first time today, and there's a lot to absorb first, and later on we will do this maybe in the next session. I will start with the group by. This is a really very important feature of pandas to to use in some of the real scenarios. Okay, so plots we have used. So I'll check how legend I can make it work, because I don't know why it is not working, but there is no reason to not work. So that I'll check. And then we have tried bar plot, and we can see some of the other data sets to plot using a bar plot or any other plots for that matter. And we will continue in the next session with this plots and remaining part of pandas. Pandas has important part, which is a couple of these things. And one more thing, we talked last time about a WhatsApp group. I'll take another 1 or 2 minutes, guys, not much. So whoever is interested, please drop me a message, sorry, the number here. I will add it in the group, but strictly this group will be mostly for the official communication. So yeah, I'll make a note later on, but for now I'll ask you guys to only put the number here. That's it, right? So I will add I'll add 1 or 2 people in this group, and I'll drop everybody's number there, and later on we can do that. Okay, Vijay, is it working for you when you do label equal to example2? I don't think that label will have any this. Without label also it should give you legend. But you try without label. and probably you will also get the legend. There is no, yeah, Vijay, you just try without label, it should come. And even my program, you try on your system, it should give you legend. Only my setting, I think I did something, I remember in last couple of weeks, I did a lot of things on my system. Could be the reason something goes wrong. But without that also, it should work, Vijay. Let's try it. If not, then we can conclude that. Okay. Okay, guys, so that's all, and thanks for your time. Spend some good amount of time on Python basics and whatever we learned, because once we start on some statistics and then machine learning stuff, it's difficult to come back and revise the things. Yeah, and pandas, today's session is really important, and this is just the small things we started, and we are going to do a lot on pandas, numpy going forward. Okay. Okay, guys, thanks a lot, and see you. Enjoy your rest of the weekend, and see you on next Saturday. Okay. So I'm stopping my screen share because I'm not going to end the session. Let me capture the numbers whoever has dropped in the message box, and then I will close the session. You guys may drop the session now. Thank you. Bye bye.